Todd Wellemeyer anxious to get this game going, actually starting a couple minutes early. He rushed out there to do his warm-up tosses, and he's already 2-0 on Seth Smith as our Domino's first pitch of the game that we see.
It's our first pitch.
And that's the only
it's
one
really,
that really
it's
matters.
ball one,
so it's
not
1-0.
3-0.
All right, 1-0. We'll just go with that. 1-0 on Seth Smith.
We saw enough walks last night. Throw a strike.
Good point. And the 3-0 pitch to Seth Smith. It'll be Seth Smith, Clint Barmas, and Todd Helton for the Rockies here in the first inning. The Cardinals hoping to have more strikes out of their pitching staff this afternoon, as Todd Wellemeyer is our Marshall Wireless starting pitcher, making his 12th start of the season. And that pitch must have been a little bit outside, and this game's underway with a walk to Seth Smith. We'll take a look at the Colorado Rockies starting lineup here tonight. Seth Smith in the leadoff spot. Todd Helton, ever dangerous, in the third spot. Brad Hopp, a very dangerous hitter, bats fifth, and he's also had some success against Todd Wellemeyer. Aaron Cook, the pitcher, and Carlos Gonzalez batting in the seventh spot. The rookie phenom. We're going to get our first look at him, Al. That's kind of exciting.
Well, we saw him late last night as he was 0 for 1, a young center fielder, only 23 years of age, and they kind of liken him to Beltran. He's not a switch hitter, but has the tools like a Beltran.
That's a pretty nice comparison. Yeah. Barmas, we found out, a Cardinal fan growing up. Can't be all bad. 0-1 to the Rocky shortstop. And he tries to go the other way, fouling it off. Troy Tulowitzki again not in the lineup for the Rockies tonight, as he is still dealing with some tendonitis in his left wrist that presumably happened from taking too many swings to try to get his stroke back. So he is not available, at least to start here tonight, and we may see him off the bench. Dexter Fowler also not in the lineup. There's a breaking ball fouled off the other way. Fowler, from what we saw of him last night, pretty good young player.
Yeah, he had that real good at bat in that rough seventh inning that maybe unnerved Mott a little bit. 13 pitch bat eventually walked him, but hit his third home run of the year. He's a switch hitter, but he fouled the ball off his shin or off his calf, and we kind of speculate that maybe that's the reason he's not in the lineup.
0-2 pitch. LaRue setting up outside. LaRue behind the plate in place of Yadier Molina tonight. Molina also had a little physical issue yesterday on a swing from Todd Helton. As he extended his swing, he caught the mask of Yadier Molina, and Jason LaRue's done a lot of work with Todd Wellemeyer.
And it seems like it's about the third straight start that Wellemeyer and LaRue have worked together.
Good swing there from Barmas, as Seth Smith, the runner at first, does not have a big lead. 2 stolen bases on the season. And Jason LaRue does a pretty nice job of throwing behind the plate. He's not Yadier Molina, but he's pretty good. Got a good, accurate arm.
You know, if the pitchers give that an opportunity for the catchers, you know, his accuracy is good enough to where he can be around the plate and he'll have a fair shot to throw out the runner.
A lot of shadows on the field.
Kind of
playing a 6 o'clock game here at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, Albert kind of looking right into one of the few sun areas on the infield.
And as beautiful as that view looks, it's not quite so beautiful from the player's point of view. And there's a base hit up the middle as it's under the glove of a diving Tyler Green, and Smith goes all the way to third on good base running on the part of Seth Smith. First and third for the Rockies as we're underway here in the first inning. This ball hit hard off the bat of Barmas.
Barmas had 3 straight 2-hit games, and he's off to a good start right here. And Seth Smith, as you said, very aggressive, goes from first to third on the single by Barmas. And right now, these Rockies have something going.
And that's going first to third on a fairly decent center field arm for the Cardinals and Rick Ankiel.
I'm not too sure that Tyler Green didn't get a little bit of it and deflected away from Ankiel.
Todd Helton, such a dangerous hitter, takes strike one from Wellemeyer. Helton at .314, 7 homers, big double in last night's game, and what we can only call, Al, as an ugly 7th inning.
Ugly, but that was yesterday. It's in unfortunately in the record books, but it's out of our memory banks.
Okay, I'll put it out of mine right now. We have to remember that the Cardinals lost because we have to know they're trying to even the series here at 1-1 and even the homestand at 3-3, but we don't have to remember the details.
Yeah,
How's
Ricky,
that?
and you and I both have been in these situations where you have to have a quick memory to forget certain things.
Oh, yeah. 1-1 pitch to Helton, hit hard to right field. Ludwig battles the sun, but makes the catch about thigh high, and he looks over to Ankiel and talks about it. As you can tell, he did not have a good sight line on that ball. He does have the glasses out there in right field, but a hard hit ball ends up in a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Todd Helton. Take a look at the Cardinal defense. Ludwig in right, Ankiel in center, Duncan in left field. And the infield, Thurston, Green, Schumacher, and Albert Pujols. Wellemeyer and LaRue are the battery. Cardinals defense has been improved over the last few weeks. And again, early today, about 3 o'clock, they were out taking ground balls, all the middle infielders. They do that every day here at home. And the defense is improving.
You rarely see the old-fashioned infield after batting practice and before a game, but a lot of that preparation is done before batting practice. You rarely ever see the outfield arms throw.
Interesting progression. Infield used to take place after batting practice, right before the game. Then it moved to during batting practice, where the coaches would hit to players playing in the infield positions while batting practice was going on. Now they do it even before batting practice.
Right.
I guess the progression would mean someday they're going to do it in the morning and then maybe the night before after the game.
Be like hockey, the early skate.
Yeah, right. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, and a snap throw from LaRue, and he's got it. Maybe Yadier Molina is behind the plate.
That's right. It's the second time this week that LaRue has thrown out a runner at first base, just like Yadi, who has thrown out 30 guys.
Beautiful snap throw from LaRue, right on the bag, and Albert has to make a good tag too, Al.
You're absolutely right, but look at where the throw is. He can catch it and just drop the glove down and put it right in front of the bag, and he still hasn't touched first base.
And a swing and a miss. Takes care of Atkins. A big pickoff. Yadi likes it, but the Cardinals trail by 1. One to nothing Colorado as we go to the bottom of the first. The All-Star game coming to St. Louis right around the corner. We'll take a look at the Cardinals batting order here tonight. Skip Schumacher in the leadoff spot. Albert Pujols having a very good month, but the Cardinals looking for more offense from 4, 5, and 6 in this lineup. Wellemeyer in the 8th spot. Tyler Green swinging the bat very well, hitting in that second leadoff spot for Tony La Russa. And we may have some all-stars here at the ballpark tonight. This guy, Aaron Cook, was an all-star last year. Did a nice job representing the National League. He's our Marshall Wireless starting pitcher.
Well, he's never defeated the Cardinals, but he's second all-time on their list of wins on the road. And if he's on, that's what you're going to see all night, ground balls.
Well, the defense will certainly be tested with a sinker baller like Aaron Cook. And here is a look at the Rockies defense, brought to you by Auto Tire. And the infield will highlight Helton, very good first baseman. Barnes and Stewart up the middle. Atkins not having a good year offensively at third. And Cook and Edwin Bellorin behind the plate for the Rockies. Rick Ankiel pops one down the left field line. This could be trouble, and it is a foul ball as the sliding Seth Smith can't come up with it, and almost a base hit for Ankiel.
Well, good effort, and see the left fielder coming in here, slides to prepare so he doesn't run right into that left field sidewall, and try to get himself into where he can catch it and then be under control so he doesn't hurt himself. Ankiel is 3 for 3 with a home run against Cook.
Guess he's been going down and getting that sinker ball. Ankiel involved in a little extracurriculars here last night with Jorge De La Rosa. A little shouting match back and forth. I guess that always happens in the heat of the battle, or it can happen.
He wanted the pitcher to challenge him.
And there's the ball hit on the right side. Helton so good with the glove. And that takes care of Rick Ankiel. Well, 2 ground balls from Aaron Cook. We may see a few of these before the night's over.
Todd Helton is a very good defensive first baseman and playing well again this year. Little slider out there, little number, and pitcher's got to get over and cover. Backhanded shovel pass to his pitcher leads him well. And then Cook has to really concentrate because he's not throwing real hard, concentrate on catching the ball and then looking down and find the bag.
Imagine a sinker baller like Cook is used to covering first base. He probably does that more than most pitchers in the National League. And he actually learned his sinker ball grip after playing 5 years in the minor leagues. He was taught the split grip on the sinker, and all of a sudden it was a new toy for him. People couldn't hit it. Last year had a breakout year for Colorado, pitching to Albert Pujols here for the Cardinals in the bottom of the first.
And won 16 games last year. He's lost his last 2 games, but he's closing in. By the end of this season, he should be the Rockies' all-time win leader, home and, on the road, and all-time leader, period, in wins.
And another ground ball. This one handled by Cook. And he gets the very dangerous Albert Pujols. 3 ground balls. We're through 1 inning. Colorado's leads. Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up, the difference is drinkability. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Auto Tire, for the lowest prices in town. We shop the competitors so you don't have to. And by Chevy, so your Mid-America Chevy dealers, or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Todd Wellemeyer set for his second inning of work. Rockies pick up a run in the first frame after he walked the leadoff hitter, Seth Smith. He later scored on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Todd Helton. And ball one on a pitch that looked pretty good to start the top of the second inning. And walks are something, I know, Al, you're trying to tell me to forget about yesterday, but walks are still in the back of my mind somewhere. I believe the Cardinals had 8 of them yesterday and 4 of them in that 7th inning that you're trying to get me to forget about. Hasn't happened yet.
You are correct, sir. And I just will remind you that when you walk somebody, it's a high percentage they come around to score.
So true.
And this is a troublesome hitter for Wellemeyer. Hop is 2 for 5 with 2 home runs against Todd.
And Hop's having a very good year through 47 games, 346 batting average. There's talk of him being a National League All-Star. We may have some All-Stars here at the ballpark tonight. We'll have to think about that. I think the Cardinals have a few that you'd have to consider.
Cardinal fans better keep on voting, though. And you can vote up to 25 times online. Do you like that?
Vote? No, I don't.
Dan
but that's the system.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
I think that's how they vote in the city of Chicago.
And Milwaukee and some of these smaller markets.
I'm talking about for their political election.
Oh, well. No, that's just dead people get to vote 25 times.
2-2 pitch to Hop is high. Full count, and Wellemeyer doesn't want another leadoff walk here. Well, vote for your favorite National League and American League player, because the All-Star game is coming to St. Louis, and it'll be here before you know it. Looking forward to that. Payoff pitch to Hop is lined into left field, right in the tracks of Chris Duncan, out number 1. And our Toyota key to the game, the usage of the Cardinal relievers in the last 5 games. The number of pitches is high in a couple of games. I think I can point out the Chris Carpenter game, though.
Oh, look at that, 317 pitches in the last 5 games, and they're only involved in 4 of them. Of course, the Cardinals made another roster change as the Cardinals bring up the 13th rookie this season. Blake Hawksworth has been added to the roster, and Jess Todd, who made his Major League debut yesterday, has been sent back down. So we got a chance to see our 7th Major League debut this year already from the Cardinal farm system.
A lot of introductions going on in that clubhouse this year with a lot of young pitchers, and I think Tony La Russa giving credit to the organization with Jim Hayes prior to the game of bringing up Jess Todd just for yesterday. That was planned because Hawksworth wasn't available until today, and he's the guy they really wanted because he's an innings guy, been a starting pitcher in the minor leagues, has not really had the kind of year that they thought he would have, and injuries are a part of that, but he's certainly happy to finally be in a Cardinal uniform in the big leagues.
And he kind of reversed direction in spring training where he kind of got back on Dave Duncan's radar.
Wellemeyer picks up his 2nd strikeout. 2 quick outs. If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals TV broadcast, catch all the action on your computer at MLB.tv. Catch over 100 live out-of-market games per week. For complete details, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. And here's Carlos Gonzalez.
This is a young man. He's only 23 years of age. He was leading all minor leaguers with 59 RBIs yesterday at the time of his promotion. Came over from Oakland and part of the Matt Holliday trade.
Really the centerpiece of that trade.
Centerpiece, they got their closer
Houston Street,
but this is the guy that they're going to have long term.
And there's a good play by Albert as he throws on to Wellemeyer in time to get Gonzalez. Cardinals slapping some leather. Pujols to Wellemeyer. 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinal right-hander as Albert goes to his left. Albert Pujols leads St. Louis, and they try to keep pace in the National League Central. They head to Cleveland to take on Victor Martinez in an interleague showdown, along with his Indians teammates. Or the Mets battle the Yankees, the White Sox, or the Brewers. Fox Saturday Baseball next week at 3 on Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Ryan Ludwig leads off for the Cardinals. His swing has been improving the last couple of games. Just about there, Al.
Trying to get his timing back after a stint on the DL.
There's a hard hit ball right at the shortstop Barmes. Throws through about 7 layers of shadows, and it's handled by Todd Helton. Out number 1 and 4 ground balls now.
Yeah. You know, Cook in a complete game had earlier this year had 20 ground ball outs, and one game last year he had 23 ground ball outs. When he is on, that's what he is. You know, at a 3-to-1 ratio of ground balls to fly balls.
He also holds the record for the lowest pitch count in a 9-inning game since they started tracking that in 1988. 74 pitch complete game victory.
Yeah, we remember
74.
Yeah, remember how efficient Carpenter was with 95.
How do you do that? 74. Bob Tewksbury had a game with the Cardinals where he had 75 pitches in a game, but Cook owns that record. 1-1 to Chris Duncan. Fouls that ball. Did that go off his foot? He doesn't think so. Nobody thinks so. I thought so, and they're calling him out.
Sure sounded like it.
That's where you got to fake as if the ball did come off your foot.
You're absolutely right, because it's an out, so you might as well just fall down and start grabbing your leg.
I'm not in favor of cheating, but you got a limp there, don't you, Al?
Hey, it's not cheating until you're caught. He kind of reacted like it, too, standing there in the batter's box for a second.
It's such a difficult call for an umpire to know whether it did hit off your foot or not. I saw Tommy Hurd do that 4 or 5 times for the Cardinals.
Remember World Series play. That's when everyone wore black shoes. And Yogi Berra was the manager of the Mets. And, you know, of course, after a long debate, he just picked up a baseball, rubbed it on his shoes, and said, look it, see it hit it.
Jason LaRue hits with 2 outs for the Cardinals. And a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Cardinals now with 5 ground ball outs against the right-hander, Aaron Cook. Cook was very impressive in the 2008 All-Star game. He pitched 3 scoreless innings in relief, and he pitched some tough innings, too, for the National League. And I think it's about time for the National League to just win about 7 straight games. That ball did foul off the foot of Jason LaRue.
You mean National Leagues haven't won for a while?
Yeah. Well, it counts now, Al. You know it counts.
Well, until you start really managing it like a regular season game and not be, you know, so interested in getting everybody into the game, you got a better chance to win.
And you like to get everybody into the game because it is, of course, the fans' game.
But that was never the case, you know, when it was really truly in National League versus the American League, when they didn't like each other. You know, you went out there to manage, and if you were on that team but you weren't one of the best players, you didn't play.
And a base hit. That ball hit on the ground by Jason LaRue. Cardinals' first hit. LaRue already been a factor offensively and defensively, Al.
Well, he swung the bat well this season. You see him spread out there, just kind of lifts it up all Pujols, and then kind of rolls over on the ball, but it goes through. How about defensively? This was Monday night as he gets a big pickoff against Cincinnati, and then again tonight. You get a runner straying too far, and a great throw and an easy tag. I love that as Barmes got tangled up with the left leg of Pujols, never got to the first base bag.
And you are allowed to be in the way as
Absolutely.
a fielder catching the ball. That's part of it.
Sure. Why you try to go to the back part of the bag, because fielder's probably up front.
Joe Thurston pops one up. Looks like it'll get out of play. Joe Thurston expecting to be a father any moment now.
I talked to him today and congratulated him and said the due date was somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd, and waiting to get that phone call any minute. But in the meantime, you're a baseball player.
Got a job to do.
Got a job to do. Boy, Ricky, it was nobody would ever ask for time off or something like that. It's like, hey, what are you talking about?
0-2 the count to Thurston. Hits the ball on the ground, foul. And in some ways the game has changed. They have the bereavement list now for players who have issues. And of course the Rockies are dealing with a player who's on the restricted list, Yorby Torrealba, their catcher, who has had just a horrible situation with his family son and an uncle being kidnapped in Venezuela, and they have been returned safely, but he needed to be home obviously in Venezuela to deal with that situation, and the Rockies are being very supportive of him. Well, Cook picks up a strikeout. He doesn't get many of those. Just one hit for the Cardinals through 2. Top of the 3rd, 1-0 Colorado here in St. Louis. The 19th annual Christian Family Day at Busch Stadium is coming up Saturday, June 27th. The Cardinals will be hosting the Minnesota Twins. Christian Family Day activities include a free post-game concert by national recording group New Song. For tickets and info, call 636-227-9788. It's always a wonderful day. A lot of folks come out for that. And the Cardinals win that day, as I understand. I think they're about 15-4, Al. I think that's the record. And Albert usually has a nice day. Edwin Bellerin, the catcher, leads off for Colorado here in the 3rd, and a little looper to center, and Ankiel fights the sun and makes the play. Very tricky sun field. Center field, right field, and a lot of communication needs to take place between the outfielders.
Remember Coors Field, if you're the first baseman, you kind of have a pickoff throw from the pitcher can be very treacherous.
Absolutely. Aaron Cook, pretty good swing there. He flies this one to right. A long way to go for Ludwig, and he catches it in fair territory right down the line. Nice range for Ryan Ludwig. 2 outs for Wellemeyer here in the 3rd. North Star is making this Sunday extra special with ice cream sundaes beginning 2 hours prior to the game in the Ford Plaza. Join us for music, fun, games, and don't forget free ice cream while supplies last. North Star ice cream sundaes.
Todd settled down and retired 8 in a row. That leadoff walk comes around to score, and that's really the only real blemish. You know, Barman's got a base hit, but it was just a single. Allowed the Seth Smith to go from 1st to 3rd, and then the sacrifice fly off the bat of Helton scores him.
And it's interesting, in the first inning that Wellemeyer was going over his head. Now he's all of a sudden gone back to not going over his head. He's been monkeying with that back and forth, tinkering with it. Well, and mechanics has been part of an issue for him now.
It is, and it's kind of weird in the sense he started going over his head, didn't have very good results. Then he went to the abbreviated motion, like you say, you know, and that's how he pitched last year in the breakout season, not going over his head, what he's doing right now, but he says he likes the other way. I'd go with the one that gives you the best results.
Works. Exactly. Wouldn't you like the one with the best results?
I guess he thinks it's more picturesque, taking the ball over his head, but a more simplified motion allows his arm to catch up to his body.
Not really very much to Todd Wellemeyer's motion right here, and it's actually a good thing for young pitchers, young kids that are maybe just trying out pitching for the first time. It doesn't have to be complicated.
No, and I think this whole game we make way too complicated.
He's just turning and throwing and hitting into left field, and the play is made. Every outfielder made a play this inning. Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Casino Queen, home of the loosest slots. Todd Wellemeyer pitching pretty well here this evening, Al. Just one hit through 3 innings, leads off for the Cardinals.
Well, he's doing a nice job, but leadoff walk comes around to score. And once again, the Cardinals offensively challenged.
I think what this game needs, Al, is one of our famous fun facts. I look forward to this every single day.
And I debate whether we enjoy it or not.
Well, I enjoy most of them. Let me be honest about that.
I know Keith works hard at it.
He does. Well, we're trying to teach some fun things about the game of baseball. Wellemeyer fouls off that pitch, 2-2.
In most cases, you'll find useless information.
Don't have to use it. Just have to know it's trivia. This game has got a lot of trivia to it, don't you think?
Yes. Are you a trivia fan?
Sometimes.
I'm not.
And a swing and a miss, and Wellemeyer is retired. Second straight strikeout for Aaron Cook. And it's time for that fun fact I knew was right around the corner. Hall of Fame pitcher Rube Waddle was known to pause during games to watch passing fire trucks, sometimes even chasing them.
Somehow we have to, that confirms he's left-handed.
Yeah, I heard he was left-handed. Rube Waddle was a little before my time, Alan. I know quite a bit before yours. Rube's such a baseball name, though, isn't it?
Remember Rube Walker?
Yeah, I do.
He was Joe Torre's pitching coach in Atlanta, and Bob Gibson was the attitude coach.
And we all know what that
negative
means.
too.
Yeah. One strike to Tyler Green. His average at 300 now, and a liner down the left field line. Looked like he might have had a chance at a double there, but he broke his bat.
Tyler had a real nice game yesterday. He was 2 for 2 with a couple walks, made some nice defensive plays.
Like what he has done defensively. Been outstanding. Well, let's talk about the Champions Club, Al. The Cardinals and Fox Sports Midwest will be calling a play-by-play live from the Champions Club on Wednesday, June 17th, when the Tigers are in town. You and Dan and I will be broadcasting the entire game from Busch Stadium's most popular all-inclusive club. The Champions Club includes a full upscale buffet, 2 full-service bars, and a great view of the game from the third base suite level. Great tickets remain for this game at stlcardinals.com.
Hey, I know there's some tickets remain because I just got 4 from my buddy Ray Burles.
Very nice.
For that night, so he'll be there.
If you've not been to the Champions Club, you're missing something.
It's our favorite place when we're not working. I know.
I'll be kind of
always find Ricky at bellied up to the bar there.
You keep letting my secrets out, Al.
And when they move you from one, you go to the other.
I'm going to be just meandering throughout the Champions Bar that night. I'll fill in some for you and Dan as you do the broadcast, and I'll let you meander some. And
it's like
between the three of us, we'll do a lot of meandering. Breaking ball low, but it is a great place to see the game. Good views out there, and we'll be doing our telecast from the Champions Club. That's June 17th, and the Twins will be back. More interleague play right around the corner.
Oh, that's the Tigers game.
Oh, it's the Tigers. That's right. But the Cardinals do play the Twins and the Cleveland Indians this year's interleague schedule. The National League actually only down 2 in interleague competition. They've won 20 and lost 22 through the first weekend of interleague play. And to me, that's a better thing to decide who has home field advantage in the World Series, but nobody's asking me.
I agree with that. You know, it's very difficult. You know, everybody makes suggestions, but it's you know, going.
Swing and a miss takes care of Tyler Green. 3 straight strikeouts now for Aaron Cook. He's turned into a strikeout pitcher.
Well, you know that's not his forte. His forte is getting ground balls. You know, a lot of people say, well, it should be the team with the best record, but you know, that could be determined on the last day of the season. And then you try and find your logistics, try to get to postseason play after that.
Well, if you want it to be a league versus league thing, then the plus minus and interleague play combined makes the most sense to me.
Determined by end of June.
Right. You have time to think about it, focus it. Strike 1 to Skip Schumacher. He bounced out to short to lead off the game for the Cardinals.
You know, you can have one player have a bad inning, a starting pitcher or a pitcher have one bad inning, and it determines where World Series play is, and it's usually that pitcher that's not going to be there or involved in it.
And of course, if we're concerned about the integrity of the game, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. 1-1 pitch to Schumacher's low. Cardinals trying to find some offense. Had 1 hit, Jason LaRue, a ground ball base hit in the 2nd inning. And another ground ball. Helton handles this one. On to Cook. And 3 quick outs for Aaron Cook. When we come back, we're going to fizzle. I don't know what it means. We have a text poll for you. It's all about fizzling. We're learning this together here. If you text 432-432 and text upgrade space A, B, or C as to who you think would be the biggest upgrade for the Cardinals, Mark DeRosa, Matt Holliday, or Garrett Atkins, we will have the ongoing results before your very eyes as we fizzle together. Didn't know about fizzling, did you, Al?
No.
Still not sure how it works, but we're fizzling. And look at that. We fizzle right in front of you. Look at that. Keep texting. This is exciting. It's like watching a horse race. This is better than the sausage race in Milwaukee, I think. As Todd Wellemeyer works here in the top of the 4th inning. (432-432) upgrade space A, B, or C if you feel like fizzling. 2-1 the count to Barmes. Fouls it off.
I have a feeling that Jim Hayes is the only one out there.
I think Jim Hayes has done about, he's been fizzling for the last minute, hasn't he?
Some of us work for a living and then he fizzles.
I've heard that said about Jim before. 2-2 pitch hit in front of the plate. Wellemeyer bounces off the mound and throws out Clint Barmes for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. As our fizzling continues, I tell you the Colorado Rockies have a 1-0 lead. And we've got Jim Hayes here. Maybe he can let us know whether or not he is actually fizzling, Al.
I don't really know how to fizzle, but I can tell you this. I'm fairly certain DeRosa would have won had Al not backed him.
Al, your retort? What say you?
I just consider the source.
Okay.
Go find a wedding party, Jim.
Well, Matt Holliday is the early fizzler leader. And he was the pick of Jim Hayes in our pregame show.
Well, but how about the fact that...
but here's... Oh, DeRosa's making a comeback, though, Al.
Of course he is. You know, because, see, Troy Glass is going to play the second half. DeRosa will play third base.
Oh, this is good.
Up until the second half.
You can keep politicking why people fizzle.
And then when Glass comes back, then you got DeRosa that can play 5 other positions, play every day, but dispelled everybody.
Look at this, the power of Al Roboski.
And you know,
before our very eyes.
Hey, there's no doubt Holliday, but what outfield are you going to take? Who are you going to take out of the outfield to make room for Matt Holliday? We got to get those outfielders going. We got to get those guys swinging the bat. If our Cardinal outfield right now doesn't start producing, we're not going to win, no matter who gets there.
And you talk about the long-term reality of signing
Matt
Holliday.
Yeah, Matt Holliday turned down $82 million for 4 years from Colorado. He turned that down. Next year, he would be making more money than Albert Pujols. So you have to tear up Albert's contract.
And you wouldn't want to not have Albert Pujols here, would you?
And then if you pay Albert Pujols more money, which he richly deserves over Matt Holliday, then you can't put a team around him.
Scare tactics being used by Al Roboski here as we fizzle together, and it is working.
And Matt Holliday can he can play second base. DeRosa plays second base, play any place in the outfield, play shortstop, play third base. They say he'll even catch. I might even want to see him on the mound too, but
be nice to have an extra catcher. He's a great guy in the clubhouse. What else can we say about him?
He's still on pace to hit 25 home runs and 90+ RBIs.
Jim Hayes is going to demand equal time here.
Cut off his mic.
3-2 the count to Helton.
Al Roboski says DeRosa would be the bigger upgrade. I rest my case.
We'll see if that works.
Now I'm going way up after that one.
This ad was brought to you by Jim Hayes for Holliday. Al, your influence in Cardinal Nation is extraordinary. And if you can't tell it by this fizzling, I don't know what you can tell.
Cardinal fans are the most knowledgeable baseball fans. It's
pandering now.
No, I'm just talking reality.
Al Roboski for mayor.
No.
Garrett Atkins struck out to end the first inning.
Because I would do something totally unheard of. No taxes.
1-0 the count to Garrett Atkins. 195 is his batting average, but he's a dangerous hitter. A couple of home runs against Houston in the last game of that series. There's a breaking ball from Wellemeyer.
Well, Atkins has been a very productive player, but this year, you know, really struggling. 195, including those. He'd win 114 at bats without a home run, but then he gets 2 home runs. He's made 7 errors on the year. Drop him down. That's 7% and 7 errors.
And if he makes an out, he'll go even lower. 3-0 the count to Garrett Atkins. And Helton's already aboard via the walk, as Wellemeyer having a little bit of trouble with control here in the top of the 4th inning. His walk in the 1st inning led to the lone run in this game. The 3-0 pitch to Atkins is also low, and now Wellemeyer has created some issues here, and fans perhaps remember a little bit about last night and what the walks did to the Redbirds in that 7th inning, where Colorado scored 9 runs. Jason LaRue out to talk to Wellemeyer, and those two have had a lot of, I guess you'd say, communication throughout the year on Wellemeyer's mechanics. LaRue really gets what Wellemeyer needs to do, and that's probably a pretty deep mechanic conversation.
Right, and the problem is now he's walked 2 guys ahead of his nemesis. You know, Hop's already hit 2 home runs off him and 6 at bats. He's 0 for 1 tonight. But here's a situation too where a guy like Hop just says, okay, the catcher just went out there and said, don't be too fine, get back in there. So he says, okay, I'm going to look for a ball right in my wheelhouse, and if it's there, I'm going to pull the trigger.
There's a breaking ball for a strike, and sometimes you need to throw a different pitch.
Hop has a good breaking ball and a very good changeup. His fastball can get it, you know, be a little bit wild, but sometimes you can use that for effect and help yourself out too.
Sometimes you get wild, you just keep throwing fastballs, and you're repeating the same mistake that you did, and throwing a different pitch sometimes helps you out. And there's a fastball right on the outside corner. We've seen a couple deliveries from Wellemeyer.
Well, this is the 1st inning. Watch take the hands all the way over his head. He likes the way that feels. But what happens is it's a much longer delivery than this one, where the hands just go chest high. And, you know, the more simplified, the less movement in your swing or in your windup, the less margin for error. And your body catches up to your arm. Your arm's not dragging, so you have better command.
1-2 the count to Hop. Rockies right fielder has some pop and takes the ball high and away. And Hop has got very good numbers with runners in scoring position. Look at Yunel, Escobar, Bourne, Fukudome, and Ramirez all over 390. And Hop hitting here with runners in scoring position. Hits the ball to Albert. Nice play by Albert. He'll get the lead runner. And
did you see how far he
ranged? We should not be surprised at what Albert does.
I mean, that's straightaway second base. And if he does not knock this ball down, it goes through for a base hit. So he saves at least a run, and he gets an out. Ranging so far to his right. And that is where Schumacher's had a little trouble going to his left. So even more important for Albert to have that range.
Pitchers love players making that kind of play defensively, giving up their body. Albert saves a run. That was our Hot Shots Exmo cam. And this ball hit very far and very foul. And all that is, Al, is a strike.
It's amazing how hitters look at it. Oh, I just missed it, and pitchers go, it's strike
one.
And strike one.
That's right. Well, he hit a long one yesterday that curled around the foul pole down the right field line. It was a bomb. And Ian Stewart hit his 9th home run of the year here last night.
He leads their team in home runs.
And the Rockies 3rd in the National League in home runs.
It's his second 3-run home run in the last 3 games. Just batting 172 against right-handed pitching.
Cardinals play him deep in right field. Duncan's deep in left. Ankiel straight up in center. Changeup from Wellemeyer's low. He wanted that pitch. And he's thrown 60 pitches working here in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Runners at the corners for the Rockies. They lead 1-0. 2 hits in this game. Barmes, LaRue. 2-1 pitch from the belt. It's bounced foul. And Wellemeyer throwing a good pitch there with runners in scoring position. And this is where you earn your money, Al. How do you finish innings like this? Something good happens. A guy makes a good play for you. The only way to let the air out of that balloon is to give up a hit with 2 outs.
You're right. If you're going to win games, you've got to retire hitters in this situation, especially after you get a good defensive play behind you, put you in a position to where you got your 2nd out. Now work on that hitter and keep them from getting that big 2-out base hit. But that drive you crazy, those ordered from the bench?
Oh, yeah.
In this situation?
Well, ordered from the bench never happened until about 10 years ago. Used to be that's something the pitcher would do on his own.
Yeah, managers starting to control the running game, so they order those different things. It's like a fastball in.
And sometimes that takes you out of your rhythm. You're thinking I'm ready to throw this pitch, and all of a sudden I've got to do something I wasn't ready to do. And I've talked to Tony La Russa about this before, and really all managers in the big leagues have taken that out of the hands of the pitchers, and his answer is pitchers don't know how to do it anymore.
Well,
we've got to do it for them.
The way a pitcher thinks is there's going to be a curveball.
And it's hit high and deep to right field. Ludwig back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. A 3-run home run by Ian Stewart on a 3-2 breaking ball from Todd Wellemeyer. And the Rockies lead 4-0. And he does have some power. Wellemeyer set for the delivery, Al, and
the step off and everything like this. But I don't like the curveball. Whether it looks like LaRue wanted to backdoor it, but I mean the curveball is going to be down and in, and that's what left-handers like. This guy is hitting 3-run home runs right now. He leads the team with his 10. The RBI total's getting up there close to the 2nd spot in the team.
Well, the problem you're talking about with the curveball too is if you're going to throw it 3-2 and you're tempted to not throw it with the nasty one,
right?
Because you know you're going to walk him
because
if
you want to throw a strike. So you have a tendency that you kind of lollipop it up there. But it's his 3rd best pitch, if not 4th, because his best breaking ball is a slider, and he's got a very good changeup to go with his good fastball. So it's his 4th pitch.
Four to nothing Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez grounded out to Albert, and a big swing at a fastball up and away takes care of the Rockies rookie, but more damage. 4-0 Rockies.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Bottom of the fourth in St. Louis. Rockies lead 4-0 with just 2 hits for the Rockies. But the big blow, a 3-run home run by Ian Stewart in the top of the fourth inning. And Todd Wellemeyer would like to have a couple of those walks back. And walks have really been the story here. Leadoff walk to Seth Smith. He scored in the first. 2 walks to start the fourth inning. And then the home run by Stewart. And that gives the Rockies the 4-0 lead here. And the Cardinals have managed just 1 hit themselves, Al, and they've got to find something to get them jump started offensively.
Well, you can't swing at a ball that's down off a Cook. That's, a slider cutter there, but when he's throwing his sinker, you've got to get it up or you're going to just pound it into the ground. Easier said than done.
Look at our Firestone leader board, and we saw Colby Rasmus names up there. Colby Rasmus, I guess at some level you'd have to say Rasmus and Dexter Fowler here with Colorado are a couple of guys you might think about as potential rookie of the year.
And again with Cincinnati leading an average in RBI or on base percentage among rookies. Colby leading in home runs.
And so we've had 3 of them in this series: Hannigan and Fowler and Rasmus.
Another point about Holiday versus DeRosa is, quite frankly, the Cardinals felt that their outfield and outfielders were going to be the real source of strength to this offense. And if they don't, it doesn't matter who you get. If the guys that are here don't start hitting, it's all going to be for naught.
And a leadoff walk to Rick Ankiel. So the Cardinals get something started here in the fourth inning. Cook's walk count has been up this year. Actually walked more guys than he did last year at this time. Of course, last year he had a career year winning 16 games, but his control tends to go away every once in a while. His starts have been up and down. So far, his start's been perfect, but a leadoff walk here in the fourth. Perhaps there's a chink in the armor of Aaron Cook.
Well, he had a poor April, and one of the reasons for that is he allowed a lot of home runs. Cut him down in May, but he's already allowed 8 home runs, and that's a high total for a single ball.
Cardinal fans would like to see another one here. Albert Pujols takes a pitch inside. Pujols bounced out to Cook in his first trip here tonight. His average at .342 continues to be in the top 3, 4, 5 of pretty much every offensive category in the National League. 1-0 pitch from Cook, taken low.
The remarkable thing about that is you can say that about Albert every single year he's been in the big leagues.
Isn't that amazing?
And you talk about consistency, and mark of a Hall of Famer is longevity and consistency. We're starting to get the longevity now.
We're going to have our final fizzle results later, Al. Thank the over 2,000 fizzlers. Two and 1 count to Albert. Big swing, fouls it off. He wasn't thinking base hit right there.
Tony La Russa in the pregame show talking about how great Albert is, and just even at times how he will start expanding the zone, trying to do a little too much. You really have to nitpick when you're going to criticize or find something that's wrong with Albert.
And Jim asked him, is there anything that he could do better? And really, it is a tough question. He's done so many great things. 2-2 pitch to Albert. Taken low.
See, that's the pitch that you've got to lay off of, because with his downward action is going to be out of the strike zone. A high sinker is a very hittable pitch.
And a bad hitter is walking back to the bench right now.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have that discipline.
Was too close. That's right. It's all about discipline. See how disciplined he is here, 3-2. And will Ankiel take off? Albert does not strike out a lot.
You almost have to, because of his ability to get ground balls. hits one on the ground, they'll turn 2. So
Ankiel's going and hit on the ground foul. As Tony La Russa sends Rick Ankiel. Ankiel does not have a stolen base on the season. I'd say an average runner. Very athletic center fielder is Rick Ankiel, but not the fastest Cardinal. But Tony La Russa trying to stay out of that double play. 3-2 the count again to Albert Pujols, and I would suspect he'll run again.
Got to make sure that they throw the ball home.
And there he goes. And hit on the ground to the shortstop, and they're going to try to get Ankiel, and they do. And they turn a double play anyway as Ankiel slides hard into Ian Stewart, and somehow he's able to get that throw over Rick Ankiel to turn the double play. That's pretty good defense, right there.
That's why you have to send the runner here, and by going, he gets down on the second baseman, and really you can see there was very little contact on the point of Ankiel. As more Stewart falling on top of him as Barmes gets the throw right to him, and Rick is down low, can't take him out or get that leg to where he can make the poor throw, and we already talked about Helton's soft hands at first base. Even with the low throw, he can scoop it.
And that was a great look at the double play on our Hot Shots Expo cam. 1-1 now the count to Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig grounded out the second. And we still do not have a fly ball out. He registered against Aaron Cook. Has a couple of strikeouts. Actually has 3 strikeouts. Struck out Thurston Wellemeyer and Tyler Green in succession. But all the other outs have come by the infielders. So Seth Smith, Carlos Gonzalez, and Brad Hopp have been kind of lonely. 1-2 the count to Ludwig.
All out there working on their batting strokes.
Right.
Where the infielders are on their toes, waiting for a ground ball.
No sun issues now for the outfielders, as the sun is
in the first inning of a regular game.
Ludwig line drive to center field. It's going to be in front of the center fielder Gonzalez. I guess he woke up one of the outfielders as Ludwig went down to get it.
To me, he's always been a low ball hitter, and goes down, and look at how he just goes down there and just concentrate on the point of contact. Didn't have that overly aggressive swing, just to make contact swing and then finish it off.
Chris Duncan bounced out. His average now at 251. Hefty swing by the Cardinal left fielder.
Ricky, it's not only the fact that they haven't hit much behind Albert, but when they do hit, you know, it doesn't do any damage. You know, there are very few RBIs.
Right. Swing and a miss by Duncan. Not enough hits in succession, not enough dangerous at-bats, not enough gappers.
You know, and another aspect, too, in April, when this team was so good on all cylinders, you know, maybe defense was the weakest point, but the starting pitching was very good. The offense led the National League in average and runs scored. They walked a lot more.
So you have more base runners.
You have more base runners. They hit 285, where now it seems like since, you know, early in May, it's been more like about 220.
I always felt that middle hit in an inning never gets enough credit. You score the run if you get the first one, you get the RBI if you get the third one, but that second hit in that inning, I think about a guy we both know very well, Ken Oberkfell. He made a living at that. I mean, he was always that kind of guy that just kept an inning going.
He maybe, you know, got the guy to third base.
Exactly.
You know, he's ended up on first, but he got him to third, and the next guy drives him in. But the key was his at bat.
There's a sinker ball way too high for the catcher's liking, so Bellerin goes out to talk to Cook. Bellerin also, by the way, out from Venezuela, so his heart certainly is out for his compadre, Yorbi Torrealba, who is back home in Venezuela handling that business with his son. And Bellerin is getting his chance to catch in his place, and again not happy with a sinker that's high to Chris Duncan. But the good news again for Torrealba, and the statement was issued by Colorado that the son was returned, and that situation seems to be under control in the kidnapping in Venezuela. Good news for Torrealba. Ludwig will be going. 3-2 the count. Duncan grounds this one foul. And we should also say, Al, and I know this is important to you, this date in history,
right?
Not this date in Cardinal history, but June 6th, 1944. And yesterday we were broadcasting throughout the Armed Forces Network, and so many people serving our country throughout the world. But I think about the importance of what the men and women did for freedom on this day, June 6th, 1944, and just
65-year anniversary of D-Day.
Unbelievable, the service. And a swing and a miss from Chris Duncan, and he is done in the fourth, and so are the Cardinals. 4-0 Rockies. From the Aqua Bar at Lumiere Place, we'll have player interviews, and of course we'll hear from Tony La Russa. Pat Paris and I will break down the game. That's after the game, right here on Fox Sports Midwest, U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Man, Ricky, you know, the Champions Club, now the Aqua Bar.
I'm everywhere, Al.
Just one common denominator there.
You're going to give me a bad reputation, Al.
Oh, you've done it all by yourself.
Oh, boy. Todd Wellemeyer. Strike one underway here in the fifth inning. Wellemeyer's given up just 2 hits in this game, but unfortunately one of them a 3-run homer to Ian Stewart. Fastball misses high.
He's walked 3, and basically one was erased in the fielder's choice, but in essence all 3 of those runners have come around to score.
Foul ball down the right field line. This Rockies club dealing with a managerial change, which, you know, we know is a difficult thing in the middle of a season. All of a sudden you've got your little status, you've got your place in the team, and all of a sudden a new guy's in charge.
Yeah, Jim Tracy is 4-4 taking over for Clint Hurdle. They were 10 games under 500 under Clint.
And ground ball to second, handled by Skip Schumacher. Well, the Rockies have had kind of an up and down last few years. As we take a look at this graph that shows the up and down performance of the Rockies. 2007, of course, they were in the World Series with Clint Hurdle. And after the climb, they've started to decline, and they've created a nice looking mountain there, but it's not the kind of graph that you want to have depicting your team.
You think about it, and I think Clint was in his 8th season as manager. He had 1 month, one good month, and that was.
They won 21 out of 22 games.
Yeah, and that was propelled them into the World Series in '07 under Clint Hurdle. And Jim Tracy was asked, well, what'd you say when you took over the ball club? And he said, gentlemen, you just got a good baseball man fired.
Good for him. And Clint Hurdle is a good baseball man. And I understand he's been offered opportunity to stay in the organization. And Jim Tracy is just a quality individual, and we've known him for his time with both the Dodgers and the Pirates. And Don Baylor, former big league manager as well. They've got some smart baseball guys in that organization.
Clint Hurdle was the hitting instructor, and that's how he got to the big leagues under Baylor, and well thought of in that organization. Got to manage.
And a swing and a miss takes care of Aaron Cook. That's strikeout number 4 for Todd Wellemeyer. And Clint Hurdle, also a former Cardinal player. Poor Clint Hurdle, think about the great year he had in 2007, but he was a Cardinal in 1986 when the Mets won and went to the World Series, and he was a Met in '85 and '87 when the Cardinals went to the World Series. So 3 years in a row he was on the wrong team in that rivalry. But Clint Hurdle was a great teammate and a great friend, and we certainly wish him well.
Yeah, I had Clint as a rookie when he first came up to the big leagues as a phenom in the Royals organization.
Sports Illustrated cover boy.
20 years of age, and he was had a lot to deal with. He had so much notoriety he couldn't go to a lot of places his teammates could.
They find you.
Well, underage.
Now, what would his teammates be doing in places like that?
Well, let me tell you, because I was coming out of some of them, and he was sitting on the curb.
Line drive down to right field. Foul off the bat of Seth Smith. Smith walked and scored in the first inning. And the Cardinals may just be happy that Smith's in the lineup instead of Dexter Fowler, the way he played here last night. We mentioned that he fouled the ball off his calf, and that may be why he's not in the lineup. And he's certainly one of those guys you think about as a potential rookie of the year in 2009. Good pitch there, but it just misses low.
And to give you an idea about Dexter Fowler, one of exciting young players in one game earlier this year in San Diego, I believe it was. He tied a modern record with 5 stolen bases in the game.
2-2 pitch changeup hit hard over the head of Skip Schumacher into right field, and that is the 3rd hit of the evening for the Rockies. Here's the grip and the pitch.
He's out there and tries to pull an outside pitch and got away with it. Up a little bit, so a line drive, and he got over the head of Schumacher.
Clint Barmes will try to extend the inning for the Rockies.
Indiana State product out of Vincennes, Indiana.
And a Cardinal fan growing up.
Yeah.
Jim was talking to him about it. He got kind of choked up thinking about his favorite team. But he knew he couldn't say that because he's playing against him. So you just, I guess, root for him later.
Well, he was just thinking about all the family and friends that are here at the ballpark to see him. And
what a rookie year he had. 2005. He was an outstanding young shortstop for the Rockies and really kind of their star of the future. And then 2007 they found another. Tulowitzki had 99 RBIs as a rookie, and he did not win the Rookie of the Year because there's a guy named Ryan Braun who had a pretty good year over in Milwaukee. But Tulowitzki not in the lineup again for this series because of the tendonitis in his left wrist. Swing and a miss by Barmes. 0-2 now.
Rick Matthews, who had been their bullpen coach and has been with his club for quite a while, is another big Cardinal fan from the area.
And a swing and a miss. Wellemeyer takes care of Bartness. Strong finish to the 5th. Cardinals need some runs. Happy 30th birthday to Courtney Rowan, wife of Rip Rowan, the Cardinal clubhouse manager. And she's celebrating her birthday by coming to a Cardinal game.
Well, she come watch her husband work. Rip does a phenomenal job.
Does he though?
Kind of in the line of Butch Yachman, Buddy Bates, and now Rip Rowan, head Cardinal clubhouse man.
And they have a lot to take care of. I mean, a lot to take care of.
Remember Butchie?
I do.
Yeah, Butch Yachman at one point had either been a bat boy or the clubhouse attendant for every world championship team.
Jason LaRue leads off for the Cardinals here in the 5th inning. Cardinals still in search of some offense. LaRue, Thurston, and the pitcher Wellemeyer.
Not only Cardinals' majority of their home runs, solo home runs. Just doesn't seem like we get many extra base hits, period.
And it's hard to get a lot of extra base hits against a sinker ball pitcher anyway.
Right.
He's throwing a lot of sinkers here tonight. Got that split grip on the sinker.
He's also got pretty good breaking pitches too.
Yes.
Pretty good. He doesn't throw the curveball as much as he once did, but he's got the slider, he's got a cutter, got the changeup on top of it.
And not a lot of complication in his delivery either, Al.
No.
He has a little hitch about halfway through his windup, but for the most part, he doesn't go over his head. He doesn't have a lot of crazy leg kick. He just very simple turns and throws. Ball hit on the ground. Imagine that. Atkins takes care of Jason LaRue. This date in baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. Ryan Ludwig, first home run as a Cardinal. He's had a few since then. And we remember when Ryan Ludwig was just a name, kind of a AAA guy that, we'll see if he helps us out or not, but he turned into a pretty good player, Al.
John Mozeliak, picked him up off the AAA roster of Detroit. He hit 28 home runs for them. And it's going to kind of be an insurance policy, or a very good AAA player, and came up in May of 07 that year and primarily was a pinch hitter and had very good success. He had 14 home runs last year, the breakout season, an all-star, Silver Slugger Award, 37 home runs.
Fly ball to right field. One of very few balls hit into the air by the Cardinals, but it's taken care of by Brad Hopp. And that is the first put out in the outfield. Off the bat of Joe Thurston. Ludwig got a base hit to center field. A ground ball hit to left field by Jason LaRue, and now a fly ball to the right fielder Hopp. The only balls the Cardinals have managed to get into the outfield here tonight. And Todd Wellemeyer will try to keep this inning going. And a ground ball up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for the Cardinal pitcher. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it?
His 4th hit on the season, and brings up our double leadoff hitter is Tyler Green, who struck out the first time, but had a very solid game last night. Here you see the effort by Stewart, who's had the big blow of this game, a 3-run home run. He had one last night, and he's about the 3rd 3-run home run he's had in about the last 4 games.
It's our Hot Shots Exmo cam. That's the dive of an infielder that knows that it's a pitcher who hit that ball. If I knock it down, I might be able to throw him out. Inside to Tyler Green. Green's impressed me, Al, with his defense, which I've always heard since he was drafted out of Georgia Tech that he could pick it. But I've been impressed with his power. I didn't know he had that kind of power. A couple home runs on the season, but not one here. It's booted by Atkins, but he has plenty of time to throw out Tyler Green. Cardinals get a hit. And they need much, much more. Brought to you by Bud Light. Cardinals and the Rockies will go at it again tomorrow in downtown St. Louis. A game on KSDK beginning at 12:30. It's the Rockies and the Cardinals. Actually, a 1 o'clock start. There is no pregame show tomorrow. Jay Randolph and I will have the telecast on KSDK. Beautiful sight, downtown St. Louis. Not enough action going with the Cardinal bats inside the stadium, though.
Well, Ricky, we were talking at part of our open about if the Cardinals were inclined to go after somebody, and who would it be, but how long can you wait?
Well, I think the issue for the Cardinals has kind of been a bit of a moot point as they've been neck and neck with the Brewers, so they haven't really had the need to maybe do it, but that's going to change here. The Brewers actually leading Atlanta 2-0, getting in the top of the 6th. That's Jeff Suppan, and you can't really let him get too far away before you do something, Al.
Well, how long have you seen, a stretch of good pitching and then it turns around and you have a problem?
Fly ball to deep center field. Ankiel at the track, and right in front of the right center field wall makes the play to retire Todd Helton. And Todd Wellemeyer breathing a sigh of relief after that one.
Cardinals for nearly the last 3 weeks have been right at the top of the major leagues in ERA. They currently are second behind the Dodgers. But you got Loesch on the disabled list now. Pinheiro had missed a start. He's going to make the game tomorrow. Hopefully his back problems are a thing of the past. And
it'll be Pinheiro and Ubaldo Jimenez tomorrow for Colorado. Brad Thompson getting the start on Monday against Jason Marquis, former Cardinal, as the 4-game series ends on Monday right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Dan McLaughlin will be back for that game.
Brad Thompson will make the start on Monday.
2-0 to Garrett Atkins, who I understand is probably unhappy with his fizzle results. Whatever that means.
I think he finished third.
He did. Well, that's one way to look at it, Al. You're always an optimist, Al.
Third
I like
place
that
is
about
not
you.
bad. Third place, but there were only 2 in the contest.
Atkins fouls this one off over the Cardinal dugout. 2-2 to the Rockies' third baseman, who does have some pop. We haven't seen a lot of it this year. He's really a 20 home run, 90 RBI kind of guy, but just hasn't quite got his stroke down yet. He's searching, Wellemeyer's searching, and Wellemeyer found something first as he strikes out Atkins on a pitch right down central. Aflac! Now it's time for our Aflac trivia question. Which pitcher had the first win in Rockies history?
I know this, but I can't remember his name.
Aflac! I'm going to say
Friend Smith.
Smith. Another former Cardinal.
Yeah, that's why I remembered it. Wonder what he's doing.
Golfing would be my guess. Scratch golfer, like a lot of pitchers, Al.
Ricky, that's like starting pitchers.
Starting pitchers, right. Guys who don't have to work only one time a week. Oh, and 1 the count to Hopp. He hits this ball hard down the right field line, and it's down and into the corner. Ludwig takes it off the fence, and a 2-out double for Hopp extends the inning. And just the 4th hit given up by Wellemeyer.
Imagine that Hopp has had some success and a couple home runs coming in and 5 at-bats against Wellemeyer. Let's see the location. Really right down the middle of the plate, high. And it's kind of, if Hopp's going up there saying, I'm going to look for a pitch that I can drive, it would be right in that location, wouldn't it?
It's exactly the location a left-hander's looking for. Really anybody right down central. Interesting coiling kind of batting stance for Brad Hopp. It's where he gets his power from. A lot of torque in the hips. And Ian Stewart can hit the ball a long way too. We've seen that already in this series. 3-run home run in the 4th inning. And he also hit a home run in that 7th inning that Al's trying to get me to forget about last night. And it's just not working.
Ricky, he's already hit as many home runs this season as he had all last year. 10. Leads the ball club with those 10 home runs. RBI total up to 30 now. He's third in the team in RBIs, and he leads with home runs. He's a left-handed hitter that crushes left-handed pitching.
Not too many of those around.
Yeah, he actually has a much higher average against lefties than righties.
Changeup hit deep to left center field. Back goes Ankiel to the track, to the wall, and it's gone. The 2nd home run of the night for Ian Stewart, and it gives the Rockies a 6-0 lead.
5 RBIs tonight for the second baseman. 8 in the last 24 hours, and 3 home runs.
And we got to see my least favorite thing happen after that home run, as a fan was coerced into throwing a souvenir back onto the field, which is one of the silliest things I see in the game of baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
There, the guy has a baseball, came to the park, caught a ball, and peer pressure gets to him out as Stewart hits his 2nd home run of the night, his 3rd of the series. Isn't that something the Cubs do, throw the baseball back?
Well, the Cub fans are the first that I know of to start that, and I agree it's
Do we want to emulate that?
I think if I was going to sit out in the bleachers of the Cubs, I'd have a phony ball.
Good call. Preparation now. Fly ball to left. Duncan in the corner. Makes the play. But more damage here for the Rockies in the sixth. Another home run from Stewart. It's 6-0 Rockies. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. My better half is here at the ballpark, getting in Al Raboski's way. But she likes you, Al. She just thinks you're great.
And she just showed me your collar and your leash. Yeah, she's heard about you just getting a little rambunctious out here.
Were you worried about me going over to the casino and all that? Is that what you're worried about?
I mean, Champions Club, Aqua Bar, you know, casinos.
I'm just spreading good cheer wherever I go, Al.
There is a line, but I'll stop.
Well, we'll see if Ann up in the booth brings the Cardinals some luck. Not enough offense again here tonight. Just 3 hits. It'll be Schumacher, Ankiel, and Pujols for the Cardinals against Aaron Cook, who's been very good.
We thought that it would be a challenge for the offense tonight because of this very fine sinker ball pitcher. You know, if you get hits off him, they're usually going to be ground ball base hits, single variety, and that's been the case here tonight.
Schumacher tries to go the other way, and that's one of the things you do with a sinker ball is try to take it the other way. But the issue with a sinker, Al, is that last 5 feet before it gets to the plate, that's when it does its moving. That's
why you've got to wait, and if you try and take it the opposite field, it gives you a little more time to make that determination. And I guess the simplest thing to see, when you see it, the trajectory coming in, if it's below the belt, let it go, because it'll dive out of the strike zone. If it's up above the belt, go ahead and swing at it, because it'll flatten out. Really reconditioning your eyes, though, in terms of the trajectory of the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. And of course, we're saying you have to make that decision in a split second, instantaneously. That's why so many National League hitters had trouble with Bruce Sutter over the years with that split finger that he threw. Ground ball again, this one handled by Helton. He's going to race to the bag just barely in time to get Skip Schumacher. Stop by the Westin and enter to win your chance to catch pop flies and win great prizes. For complete details, visit www.westinpopupchallenge.com or call 314-621-2000. I'm sure you are aware of the very scary situation kind of around that and involving around that Westin pop-up. I'm not. Well, they had a little trouble with the, the hot dog bazooka gun.
I did hear that.
And Fred Bird,
fouled back.
At times not the smartest bird on the planet. Went out
right.
and he was testing the gun.
But we love Fred Bird, though. Cardinal fans love Fred.
He's my
Bird.
best friend.
Okay.
But he tested the gun, and the opposition was out on the field. I think it was the Cubs that day. The opposition on the field, and Pete Prinzi, the Cardinals' outstanding strength and conditioning coach, who had a group of players in right field, and Fred Bird decided, well, we're going to do that pop-up challenge tonight. I got to see if this thing works. Shot the ball about 300 feet in the air. Didn't warn anybody. And came down and hit Pete Prinzi on top of the head.
Oh boy!
And Pete figured that it was a velocity of about 120 miles an hour that came down and clocked him. And I will admit, Fred Bird was terrified. He almost canceled our school program the next day.
And what a great program, we should say, that you guys have during the off season. But don't let him be around kids with that weapon, please. Tell me you won't do that.
No.
2-2 the count to Ankiel, and that ball hit hard to center field. Back goes the center fielder Gonzalez, and it's gone. A home run for Rick Ankiel to dead center field. And the Cardinals are on the scoreboard.
Second base umpire Bill Welke was kind of looking out there, and we'll see if there is a little controversy. The umpire's still looking out there, looking at a replay.
And so is
Albert. Hurry up and get in the batter's box. But watch Gonzalez go back on this ball, get up over, and does that fan interfere? Hurry up and throw a pitch, and it'll be academic.
Well, it's academic.
Yep, you throw a pitch, and they can't review it now. But that guy on the cell phone, does he take the ball out of the glove of the Rockies center
fielder? Close enough that it could have been reviewable.
So yes.
And a nice play by that fan.
And he is helping his home team, and I'm sure glad he's got the guns like that to where he's going, I'm keeping it. Of course, it's not the opposition's home run.
And he's calling every friend he knows, telling him how good his hands are.
No, they're calling him.
Ball hit up the middle, and nice play by Barmes. And he throws out Pujols. Very good defense here tonight for Colorado Rockies, as Barmes makes a great play to his left, Al.
Look at how far he's playing in the hole. So he has to go so far to his left, dives for it, quickly gets up, strong throw over, and Albert is out at first base. Playing in the hole, spin and throw, and once again, Helton didn't have to go out there, but with his soft hands, these infielders know that just get it over there in the vicinity, and he'll scoop it up.
And as we've talked, these infielders are ready tonight, knowing that Cook is on the mound.
Well, it's like you talk to.
This ball hit hard to center field. Back goes Gonzalez again, and he makes the play this time. Turns the wrong way, but comes up with it. Cardinals on the scoreboard, thanks to Rick Ankiel's home run. They're in danger of doing the same thing tonight. And a lot of it has to do with the solo home runs the Cardinals hit. Ankiel's home run is the 40th solo shot for the Redbirds in 2009 out of 59 total home runs. That's not a ratio you're looking for.
No.
Swing and a miss by Bellerin.
Colorado will tell you those 3-run home runs are pretty nice, aren't they?
They've got a 3-run shot and a 2-run shot here in this ball game. Ankiel's home run was caught by a fan in center field, and well, give him a little credit, Rick.
Last night he's yelling at the pitchers to challenge him. Now he's telling them.
Hey, he's telling his buddies he's a good friend with Rick Ankiel now.
Oh yeah, Rick and I we talk a lot.
He's going to be on the phone the rest of this game, I can tell you that.
Now these Rockies are going pretty good right now.
He's on his 10th call already.
He's not quite.
I think his girlfriend's going to get up and leave.
He's not quite like Russ Booty, who remember became an instant star catching a ball at the old ballpark in right field. How about these Rockies are swinging a hot bat right now, is including this game, the last 3 games on the road, they have scored 27 runs.
One and 2 to count to Bellerin. Popped down the right field line. Long way to go for Ludwig. And the ball boy had a better shot at that one. Is that Aaron down there? I think it is.
I don't think so.
I think that's Aaron. Maybe.
Met Aaron's dad the other night. Told me keep on giving Aaron trouble. It is Aaron.
It is Aaron. Oh, he's going to say I should have caught that ball. Now he's going to call all of his friends. Aaron from Lutheran South High School. Graduate a few years ago.
He's a nice kid, isn't he?
He's a great young man. Line drive right at Ludwig. Out number 1 here in the 7th inning. Sellout crowd here tonight for game 2 of this 4-game set with the Rockies. 44,002. Good thing you and I came. Been 44,000 even. They count us?
No.
Aaron Cook bats with 1 out.
Cook's getting the better one of this one as he's allowed only 4 hits. The Ankiel home run and 3 singles. But you can see Wellemeyer staying in this game. He's throwing 104 pitches and hopefully he can get through this 7th inning. But it's just those, the 5 runs he's allowed to Stewart on a 2 and a 3-run home run.
Really hard to rate his performance. If you look at the numbers for Wellemeyer, 5 hits in 6 innings, you'd say, well, that's good.
But the problem, what I don't like about it is, in the 4th and 5th inning, they're 2 out base hits, 2 out home runs.
Thurston takes care of Wellemeyer's counterpart. Out number 2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Seth Smith will hit with 2 outs. Rockies with a run in the 1st, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. 5 of those home runs scoring via the home run. And all 5 of those, Al, as you mentioned, with 2 outs.
2 outs.
I think that's really the difference, Al. I'd like to know what you think with Joel Pinheiro this year from last year. He's finishing innings more. We saw that in spring training. He's finishing innings, finishing hitters more.
Very good point.
And it really can make a difference.
Well, it's that mindset. You really have to bear down. When you get 2 outs, then you got that extra incentive to say, okay, let's really finish off the inning. Do not give up any 2 out base hits, let alone 2 out base hit RBIs.
One of the things that we liked about former Cardinal pitcher Jeff Suppan, he was really good at pitching out of jams. He is on the positive end of a 2-0 score in Atlanta. The Brewers lead 2-0 as the Braves hit the bottom of the 6th. Nationals lead the Mets 7-1 as they're hitting in the 8th inning. And the Cubs trail the Reds 3-2 in the 7th. And there's Another Cardinal rookie.
The newest Cardinal rookie, Blake Hawksworth, who appears destined to make his major league debut. 13th rookie this season for the Cardinals, and when he makes his mound presence, it'll be the 7th major league debut this year, most in the major leagues. And you know, it's one thing to say, hey, you got a productive farm system.
Ground ball off Wellemeyer and up the middle. Another 2-out hit. This one off the bat of Seth Smith. That's the 3rd time he's been on base, as Wellemeyer not able to get that comeback.
Ricky, I know you'll agree with me, but when you really see the outstanding pitchers, they'll give up a few hits, but they make sure those guys don't score.
Absolutely.
Because all of a sudden, they're pitching to contact. They're trying to get guys to get themselves out. But when they give up a base hit or have a couple runners on, then all of a sudden they go into attack mode and they make sure they stop it.
It's the pitching equivalent to what we always say about Albert Pujols, which you can also say about Todd Helton with the Rockies, is when you get 2 strikes on him, the at-bat's not over.
No, that's right.
It's just not. And we know that they still have a chance of doing something dangerous with 2 strikes. And that may be a base hit in front of Ankiel. He comes on hard and makes the play. Diving play by Ankiel to rob Clint Varmus of a base hit and help out his pitcher, Todd Wellemeyer. Ankiel, a home run, now a nice defensive play. The results in it are in right now, and we're able to call it, Al. In our first fizzling opportunity, your text poll, Mark DeRosa beats out Matt Holliday as the best possible upgrade. We thank all of you for
Cardinal
texting
Nation.
And voting and exercising.
Thank you, Cardinal Nation.
Your constitutional right.
Backing out. I made it real simple on Jim Hayes. I told him in the open.
He was wrong.
I won.
What you told him. Chris Duncan leads off for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They picked up a run in the 6th on the home run by Rick Ankiel, and Troy Tulowitzki takes over at shortstop.
And Varmus moves to second. Stewart over to third.
Two and one to the Cardinal left fielder. Duncan is 0 for 2. Bounced out, struck out. 4 strikeouts on the night for Aaron Cook. And just 1 walkout. Walked Ankiel to lead off the 4th, and he was erased on a double play off the bat of Albert Pujols. And a big swing and a miss.
Dominant performance, and Wellemeyer's night, I'm sure, is through. 7 innings. He only allowed 6 hits, but 6 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 2 big home runs.
Duncan, line drive, caught by Cook.
So
what a reaction.
Ricky,
that was a rocket.
How many times did you have a line drive coming back at you that you didn't see, but you caught?
A couple of times.
And other times you'll have a line drive coming right at you. You see it, but you can't react quick enough to it. But look at that.
Oh, my. Excellent reactions. Really good at bat for Chris Duncan, but
he leaves himself in a very good fielding position. But to be able to get that arm up and the glove hand up that quickly as you're getting your face out of the way of it, when you're going bad, you know, it just, those balls right there are caught.
Juan Beniquez hit one off my thigh once, Al, on a pitch that I was still throwing, still following through, and the ball was already lined right off my thigh. Never saw it. There's a deep ball to center field off the bat of LaRue, and a nice play again by the center fielder, Gonzalez. And they talk about him kind of being kind of casual the way he plays the outfield. He's just really kind of a smooth player, but they talk about him being a five-tool player as well.
And talking about him kind of being Beltran.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's another guy that kind of plays the ball very well. He is a Gold Glove outfielder, but he plays it in a very casual, laid-back way. It's only 23. I think you'd rather have him go full bore rather than play it a little casual at such a young age.
Nice to have his ability, though. Two hard hit balls for the Cardinals, nothing to show for it. Duncan lines out to Cook. LaRue hits one deep to center. And Joe Thurston, the last Cardinals hope here in the 7th inning. Thurston struck out and popped out to right. Going in on Thurston, and he hits the ball on the ground, and just another ground ball for Aaron Cook. Two balls hit very hard this inning with nothing to show for it. Duncan first. Watch out. Jason LaRue backs Gonzalez up. And Joe Thurston grounds out. Recap. Jim Tracy and the Rockies, Tony La Russa and the Cardinals, game 2 of this 4-game series, and some good defense on both clubs. Jason LaRue with a pickoff, some good plays up the middle by the Rockies, and the long ball has shown its face again. Rick Ankiel, a solo shot for the Cardinals, but 2 home runs for the Rockies. Ian Stewart, the difference in this game, and Blake Hawksworth takes over for the Cardinals in his major league debut. And now we've said that a few times in 2009.
Right. Recall prior to today's game, 13th rookie to join the club, made 10 starts at AAA. He'll be the 7th Cardinal to make their major league debut this season. He was leading the team with his 62 innings of work, 5 wins and 9 decisions, ERA under 4, 19 balls and 51 strikeouts. Here's what you talk about draft picks. Here's a 28th rounder. They're talking about the first and second that make it. Your drafts are decided by guys like this. What round were you in? 4th? Really?
I tricked somebody.
Are you kidding me?
Thanks for the vote of confidence. How'd they do that?
But yeah, a 28th round draft pick. And, you know, he did not sign until May of 2002. So kind of a draft and follow kind of guy. But here he is pitching in the big leagues now.
And there's an off-speed pitch, and he gets his first batter out in the big leagues. And his first batter was Todd Helton. That's something you want to go and write in your diary, isn't it? I don't know if he keeps one.
Not only do you get the first hitter out, but you get a legitimate major league and probably a Hall of Famer out. There's Tulowitzki.
Been dealing with some tendonitis issues in his left wrist. Takes strike one from Blake Hawksworth. Tulowitzki not having a very good offensive year at .218. And hits this one on the ground to Brendan Ryan, who has come in as part of the double switch, and he throws out Tulowitzki. Ryan's now the shortstop. Tyler Green has moved over to third, and Hawksworth will be batting in Joe Thurston's place for the Cardinals. Well, 2 outs for Hawksworth. So far, so good.
And keeping him on the ground. So, kid they really wanted to bring him up, but he was not available because of starter. He wasn't available until today. That's how Todd got his major league debut yesterday. Returned back to Memphis to bring up Hawksworth.
And Tony let Jim Hayes know before the game that really was part of the plan originally, that Jess Todd was not sent out because he didn't pitch well yesterday or gave up a couple runs in his debut. It was really the plan to bring Hawksworth up, but again, not being available. This ball hit hard to center field off the bat of Brad Hopp. Back to the wall. Ankiel makes the play at the fence. Why didn't he throw the ball up to his buddy up there, Al? Hey, how come Ankiel? I thought we're buddies. Where's the baseball? (6-1) Rockies. Blake Hawksworth in his major league debut. Here's our pitch by pitch.
Got to throw strikes, and it's going to be the final out. Look at it. Good ground ball down the way. He rolls over, gets the ground ball to Helton. Here, Tulowitzki. A ball down, and he gets the ground ball. This one down, but it's a difference with a left-handed hitter. Got a pretty good rip at it, but there was enough of Butch Stadium 3 to haul it in for Ankiel.
And a good center fielder in Rick Ankiel. I still can't believe he didn't throw that ball up to his buddy up there.
Well, his buddy already has one.
Oh, that's right. Brendan Ryan came in with a double switch. He takes strike one from Aaron Cook. That little slider that complements his sinker is the first pitch here in the 8th inning, and showing no signs of tiring, as that was pitch number 97 for Aaron Cook. 1-1 the count to Brendan Ryan. We've had some interesting fan involvement here in this game, Al, as Ryan fouls that one off to a fan.
And let's watch her ability to clap. Oh, it's a sobriety test and she failed. I mean, that took her about 3 times before she made good contact.
How good is our camera crew that they caught that? I mean, come on.
Oh,
kudos.
They're probably getting thirsty.
Kudos to our crew.
Oh.
We didn't show her face because we wanted to protect her identity.
The innocent.
2-2 the count to Brendan Ryan, leading off the Redbirds' eighth inning. Tyler Green hits next. This ball hit on the ground to Heltner's been very busy as well here tonight, and he races Ryan to the bag for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. 6 is a serious number. When the Cardinals do score 6 runs, you'll get a 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just a quarter the next day at On the Run at Mobile. Well, the Cardinals will need at least 6 runs to force this game into extra innings, Al. That's what we're rooting for.
Flores and Corpus are warming up. That is Randy Flores, a former Cardinal.
This ball hit on the ground, and it's fair inside the bag at third. Tyler Green, close play at first, and he's out.
How about that play by the second baseman turned third baseman, Stewart, who the big bopper in this game, leading on home runs. The team, he's got 2 home runs this game, 5 RBIs, and now he has a dazzling. That's as good a play as you'll see from a third baseman, isn't it?
Bang, bang play at first. I thought that ball might be foul. Not sure where that was when it went over the bag. It was close to being a foul ball, but he's got to make that play anyway, and he's just, he's just feeling it right now.
You cannot wait a little bit and try to be the umpire. You just go ahead and execute that play, and hopefully it'll go your way. Tyler Green, hustles down that line, so an excellent play.
Schumacher hits with 2 outs.
Hey, look at that pitch right there. What are you going to do with it? You try to pull it, you roll over it. If you hit it, you probably hit it foul.
And there's a liner right to the shortstop, Tulowitzki, who catches it in the air but throws it anyway.
Well, they didn't call it out until a little late.
6-1 Rockies going to the 9th. Home Depot doing more on defense. Ian Stewart having an outstanding day offensively and defensively. The backhanded play takes care of Tyler Green, Outstanding evening for Ian Stewart. Off balance throw and a strong throw.
When you look at that, I mean, it's a foul ball.
I thought it was. I thought that ball bounced outside the bag. But again, as you said, you can't play umpire. You just have to make the play and worry about it later. What a night Stewart's had.
Only batting .225, but leads with 11 home runs and third with his 32 RBIs and 5 RBIs. And let's see what Blake Hawksworth can do. Blake is 6'3", 195, born in British Columbia.
Going in, and he hits his spot. You always love to see that, Al. Somebody hitting their spot. 91-mile-an-hour fastball down and into Stewart. And the 1-2 pitch, a changeup, hit on the ground inside the bag at third, and it's going to be a hit for Stewart, who does not round the base. Now he's looking to go to second as he's redirected by his first base coach, Glenn Allen Hill, and a double, a squibber right down the line off the bat of Ian Stewart. Now it's been all Rockies so far, but Jim Hayes is going to let us know what to expect on our postgame. Jim?
Yeah, we are at Lumiere Place tonight, Rick. Coming up, we'll have Tony La Russa's post-game news conference. We'll have player reactions straight from the Cardinal clubhouse. Plus, we'll have a breakdown of Blake Hawksworth big league debut tonight. It's all coming up tonight. Rick Horton will join Pat Paris at Lumiere Place. For now, we go back upstairs. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate your work. Great job today with the interviews in our pregame as well, and having you on with Al talking about the Cardinals' needs offensively, and it's been glaring again tonight, Al.
He showed me something that, you know, he wasn't so mortally crushed that he lost our little deal, but that's kind
he
of
was
team player.
Happy to debate you. Yes, he is. He does great work, Jim Hayes.
He really does.
Fastball fouled off, and he's hustling all day long here at the ballpark, and we get interviews from him before the game, and he has a lot to add in our post game, and we just appreciate his work. But don't tell him I said that, please. 0-2 the count to Carlos Gonzalez, looking for his first National League hit. Definitely got some style, doesn't he, Al?
Most of them do these days, don't they?
Yeah. Swing and a miss, and down goes Gonzalez. Good off-speed pitch from Hawksworth. He pulled the string a little.
Well, these two probably faced each other in Pacific Coast League, and there you see good downward action, swinging over the top. Gonzalez 0 for 4 on the night, and 0 for 5 with his one plate appearance last night since joining the ball club.
I wonder if they threw out that baseball because it's his first strikeout, or if they threw out that baseball because there's something wrong with it. Looks like
first strikeout.
First strikeout. Got flipped around to a few different people, and somebody's going to keep that as a souvenir for Mr. Hawksworth. One out for the Rockies. Slider high. Who was your first strikeout, Al?
I don't know. There was no stats back then. I don't think they discovered paper
yeah, but don't
yet.
you have a memory, Al? Pitch was called a strike to Bayerine. A little bit up in the zone, but one strike pitch from Hawksworth is hit on the ground to Ryan. Makes a nice play, off balance throw up the line and off the Cardinals dugout. And the runner not able to score. He was actually going back towards second base before the pitch was thrown. So he did not get a good jump on that ground ball up the middle. The off balance throw from Ryan didn't work, but the base runner going the wrong way.
Trying to make the miraculous play, kind of had his back arched, bad throw, but luckily it does not bounce into the dugout, and it's just scored a base hit. No error on the play.
That's an infield hit for Bayerine, but Stewart did not get a very good jump, Al. Otherwise, he scores.
Yeah,
he's actually headed back to the bag.
Yeah, see, Hawksworth tries, he does the right thing. He looks him back. Now he throws the ball home with him standing near the bag. And then he bounces the ball up the middle, and Brendan trying to do a little bit too more.
Ryan Spielbergs will hit for Aaron Cook, so his night is over, and it's been a good night for him.
Well, we find out that not in my first appearance did I get a strikeout, but my second appearance, which ended up being my first major league win, I struck out Jim Hickman.
Very good outfielder.
Very good. And that was the year that Jim was a contender for the MVP.
Way to go, Al.
I will tell you, it was in the 16th and 17th innings at Wrigley Field.
Hit on the ground third. They're going to get the lead runner, but it hits him in the head. The throw from Green off the helmet of Stewart. And that ball goes into the stands, and that will allow run number 7 for the Rockies to score. And that'll probably be an error in the third baseman, Green, as he hits Stewart right in the helmet.
It's a fielder's choice RBI. Cardinals haven't been able to retire him, and even that one to the head doesn't knock him out. But an error by Tyler Green, that'll be his first error of his major league career.
And LaRue was looking for that throw on the infield side of home plate because he knew the runner was coming in that direction, but the throw just tailed away. And the Rockies now with runners at second and third and a 7-1 lead. Hawksworth, curveball, just misses. I understand you got Ron Santo in that same inning, Al.
Well,
boy, you were good.
One year we kind of staged a graphic on Cubs television with Santo doing the game on radio. We put a graphic up there that Santo was 0 for 12 with 15 strikeouts against me.
Ball hit on the ground to Albert. He looks home and he throws home. Close play at the plate, and they nab the runner Bayerine at the plate. Albert's so good at that play. He wasn't even playing in, Al, but he's not afraid to throw and save a run for his pitcher. You got to love that.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that, you know, you're already going to have to battle back and get a touchdown to win this ball game. Just make a nice play. Look at the left leg going out there, knocking the lead leg away, sealing off the plate for the out at the plate. You notice what I said, 0 for 12 with 15 strikeouts. He demanded an apology.
And did you give him one?
It wasn't my television. It was the Cubs.
Did you get it straight is what I mean.
Yeah, it was 0 for 12 with 16 strikeouts.
Yeah. That's pretty good hitters you struck out there, Al. I'm impressed. 0-1 the count on Barmes. And a defensive indifferent stolen base. A DI. Wonder when they started calling them DIs.
About 2 years ago. Something like that, right?
Not a stolen base. Runners at second and third for the Rockies, and Barmes the hitter. 7-1 lead. His ball hit hard to left. Uh-oh. Home run. Clint Barmes. 3-run home run off of Blake Hawksworth. And it's now 10-1 Rockies. Looked like a hanger there that Barmes took care of.
Really, they slowed his motion down, kind of telegraphed it, and Barmes was not fooled at all.
Here's the pitch from Hawksworth, just sitting right over the middle part of the plate.
Middle half end, just gets enough to get about 3 or 4 rows back, but another 3-run home run
with 2 outs.
With 2 outs.
That's the third home run of the night for the Rockies with 2 outs. A 3-run homer in the 4th, a 2-run shot in the 6th, both by Ian Stewart, and now a 3-run homer in the 9th by Clint Barmes, and that is our Hardy's prime cut of the game.
See the ball still elevated on the inner half, and just he knew what to do with it.
10-1 Rockies. The Rockies scored 10 runs in their last game against the Houston Astros.
They've now scored 31 runs in their last 3 road games.
They may be finding their offense. A walk now to Todd Helton, and things are getting a little tougher for Blake Hawksworth. And some of these runs will be unearned against Hawksworth because of the error, but it still doesn't feel any better, Al.
No, and you've got to stop the bleeding. Just because it's unearned runs, you can't just allow them to go out there and whack away. And you're going to be out there for the rest of the inning.
Nobody warming up. It's his normal day to start.
Right.
So he's conditioned to throw 100 pitches here today.
He's only thrown 27.
He's got a ways to go.
Second inning to work, but let's hope he doesn't go anywhere near that.
And we've seen some good things from him.
Yeah.
It also shows you the difference between the levels of AAA and the big leagues, and you make a mistake here in the big leagues, and very seldom do you get away with it.
That's it. And even Jess Todd, who made his debut last night, and we said that he has a very good slider, a slider that AAA hitters chase. But the question was, will they do that here at the major league level? And we didn't see that many good sliders last night. We saw a lot of them that were in the middle of the plate. But that's, sometimes you got to, even though it's a major league debut, you almost got to throw it out the window, whether it's good or bad.
Right. Dave Duncan has seen his club go from first place in the ERA statistic in all of baseball to second place to the start of this game, and they may drop down another notch or two as Hawksworth finally gets out of the inning, taking care of Tulowitzki. But 4 more Rockies runs. They now lead the Cardinals 10-1. You by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver, and by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Well, the fans have not had much to cheer for here tonight. Forlorn look on that young lady's face as she's watched her Redbirds struggle on the mound. 10 runs, 9 hits for the Rockies here as the new pitchers Matt Daly takes over for Aaron Cook, who had an outstanding outing here tonight.
Matt Daly was activated yesterday from the disabled list. He had one of those freak injuries, sprained his ankle as he was backing up a play at the plate, and he rolled his ankle on a bat that was thrown by the umpire.
Never seen that before. Usually you get the bat out of the way so nobody gets hurt. It's our Chevy call to the bullpen. Matt Daly, the right-hander, takes over for Aaron Cook, and his night was outstanding. 1 run on 4 hits in his 8 innings of work. And Daly takes over for the Rockies and Jim Tracy to finish this one out. And he'll face Ankiel, Pujols, and Ludwig. How about that, coming off the disabled list, and you get Albert. Well, Albert can still give us a thrill here in the 9th, can he, Al?
He sure can. Need a little
There's
bit
a
more.
broken bat bloop to center field. On comes Gonzalez, and it hangs up long enough for him to make the play as the bat goes all the way out to the pitcher's mound. Ankiel 1 for 3, but a home run today. That's a good sign.
Daly's been maybe a little deceptive because hitters have not done much against him. Right-handers are now 2 for 14. Lefties 3 for 16. Kind of hides the ball well.
And a little slider is high, maybe a cutter, as he almost has a awkward way of even coming set. He comes set with his knees bent.
You see kind of how he hides the ball from him.
This one popped up on the right side. And this will be handled by Barnes, about head high. And it's not hard to figure out who our Budweiser player of the game is. Actually, we could have given it to the pitcher, but I think we had a better choice, Al.
It might have been that final fielding play for Stewart, as in this series he's 5 for 8, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and he's played a good second base, made a great play as he moved over to third base, and he has been a difference maker in this series.
Cardinals are going to have to find a way to get him out. 2 more games in this series. Cardinals still have a chance to even this series with the Rockies. On a win tomorrow and a win on Monday would take care of that, as the Cardinals have struggled a bit in this homestand. They didn't hit well against Cincinnati, but picked up a couple of wins in that series, and the Rockies have taken it to the Cardinals here. It's a hot team all of a sudden.
Well, when you don't hit, you know, your team looks lethargic. You just don't look like anything is going for you. You know, now all of a sudden the pitching staff has had a little bit of issues.
Sinker baller can make you look lethargic.
Oh, yes, he can. You know, I mean, you can hit a ball hard, but it's right at somebody. And if you do get hits, they're usually singles.
0-2 to Ludwig.
Ricky, I mean, why is it, and you were a minor league pitching coach, why is it that everybody teaches kind of a straightforward motion where the hitter gets to see it, and you see very few guys like Daly that are deceptive? They don't get hurt anyway.
Trying to get a little cookie cutter way of pitching, and Daly and his deception ends in a Ryan Ludwig strikeout, and this game is over. The Cardinals take this one, or the Rockies take this one 10-1, as the Rockies out hit the Cardinals 9-4. No joy in St. Louis today.